Right. Hello, I'm Chris, non-writer, and welcome to Fleetcast's newest series, Spotlight, where we'll come together and celebrate Prost from the Obsidian Fleetiverse. And today, we've got the wonderful Becca. I know she needs no
Hello.
introduction to most people, but I'm going to do it anyways. Becca was my introduction to a community where I've met so many amazing, like-minded people. She's the gaffer in Atlantis, a valued member in Avalon, and a massive part of Obsidian Fleet, whether she's helping organise events or herding cats in the Discord. It's Becca!
Oh, that's so sweet. And I'm also the GM of SS Mary Rose that started it all.
Alright, I didn't want to give you a massive head.
Well,
Got to humble you a
two,
bit.
two-time GM. But yes, thank you so much. I'm really excited about being here because this is the first episode of like a new bit of Fleetcast, and I'm excited because you literally went, I'm doing this and I'm doing it now. And I was like, oh, okay. And here we are. And I'm on the first episode, so that's exciting.
Got to strike while the iron's hot and motivation's high, or else you'll just never
Yes.
do it.
No, 100%. And I think that's kind of what's happened over the last couple of months where we've just had no episodes because Christmas hit us and it hit us hard.
Yeah.
It hit us so hard and it was just very, very difficult to arrange anything. But I'm
Mhm.
so happy to be back. And I'm not the one who's having to click buttons, which is even better. That is you. You are the monkey with buttons.
That's fine. We'll see how wrong it goes soon, anyway. And I've got to edit it so I can do what I want as well.
Yes, because you are not doing things by the skin of your teeth. You are literally editing this as after we finish. While me, I just do it, and you see everything in its technicolor glory.
To be fair, it just means that I can put like the odd fart noise in, see if people are paying attention and that.
Okay, fair enough. I
I'll
think
not, maybe.
if we are doing this, I think instead of it being fart noises, I think people need to pay attention to how many times you lift your mug and have a drink because your mug is an Obsidian Fleet mug.
Oh,
I think
oh
I
yeah.
think you should.
If I was left-handed, you would see the writing.
If not, but it's okay. The other side's better because it's comms and it was the department I built and now it's now Paul's problem.
What? One more arrow to your quiver.
Yes, yes,
But yeah, anyway, thanks for coming on and discussing a post that you actually nominated.
I did. Yes, because I love this post.
Yes. So post we're going to talk about is called "Listen to the Voice in Your Head" by the Media Man Paul. I don't know if he wants us to say his full name because I don't know it. That's why he's not on Discord. But that is a bit of a mouthful. So from now until the end of this episode, I'm going to call him Paul.
Paul. Okay, I'm
Paul.
not entirely sure how he's going to feel about being Paul, but that's fine. He'll cope.
He can comment and say whether he loves it or not.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
he has
we'll
to leave
get
a
him on,
comment.
and I'll say it to his face.
Yes, this is one of my favorite posts, and I just enjoyed the fact that it's a solo post and it's literally Paul having conversations with the people in his head, having conversations with the people in their head. It's like Inception, and it's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's a different one. Like I quite enjoyed reading it, but this post is from the game SS Mary Rose.
yes, but we refer to it as Rosie because it's a mouthful, and anyone who has ever been on any of my games know that if I can shorten a game's name, I will. Avalon has the privilege it doesn't get shortened. Atlantis, I can't shorten it anyhow. Um, Solar Force, that doesn't get shortened, but pretty much every other game that I've ever been on
SF.
gets shortened.
Yeah.
Because I've shortened when I was on USS Mercury, that was just the Merc. When I was on the Timey-Wimey ship, that was Sid the Time Ship. Um, and that's still one of my favorite concepts, the time ship. That was just so fun. But the full name was Clepsydra, and for the life of me, I couldn't get that name correct at
Clepsydra.
any Clepsydra. Yeah, it's like I think it was like an old fashioned clock, possibly. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I could never spell it correctly, so it just became Sid. Sid the time ship.
So I took a drink there
Yeah,
just as she stopped speaking. But
yeah, it's fine.
because you're the GM of Rosie, can you tell us a bit about it?
Yes, so SS Mary Rose, or Rosie as I like to refer to it, is one of the fleet's long-standing games. It's 9 years old. It will be 10 at the end of this year.
Hey.
And it's a civilian game. Um, we don't have many of those in the community, and especially not one that's as long-standing as it is. It's gone through a couple of different stylings. Originally, it was just a cargo run vessel. And then it's become what do we call it? We call it Fenris Rangers, which is basically some of the universe calls them vigilantes, while the Fenris Rangers themselves consider them the people doing jobs that other people don't want to do. So they are there when Starfleet can. And Gregnall, who is my captain, my main character, he's currently going through a bit of a crisis of faith around what he's going to do in this mission. Because our current mission is we have gone to get some supplies for a planet that needs medical supplies. We have gone down to a planet where these supplies have been put for us to pick up.
Right.
And we've found that this planet has a crash landed slaver ship with survivors. And these survivors have no concept of what the Federation is. They don't know what Starfleet is because they are from pre-warp worlds.
Right.
And it's such an interesting concept because we've got people like myself, we've got Emu, we've got Lurt, we've got Paul. We're all writing characters from pre-warp civilizations, and it's such a fun concept because you can just make a species, and it doesn't need to be tied to what we've already got in Star Trek. So I have a survivor who is from a water world because someone was talking about Waterworld. It was probably you at one point in the
Oh, I
last
love
6 months.
Waterworld.
And she's from a Waterworld where she has gills, and she's basically the leader of this survivor camp. And the crew of the SS Mary Rose have now met her. But there's a little bit of a twist because there's always a twist at the end. Um, is there is actually still a slaver alive,
Oh,
and the crew of SS Mary Rose do not know that this person is alive yet. So we are
is
literally just at that point where they're going to discover her.
is your female character from the Waterworld called Kelly Costner or anything?
No, no, she's called Mina.
Oh, that's fine.
I totally missed a trick there, but I try not to be too cliche.
No, I like punny things and really bad cringy
Yeah,
stuff.
yes, but yeah.
But
So
can you not like nominate one of the posts so I can read them a lot?
I will nominate them. But yes, SS Mary Rose is a very long-standing game. So we've had mirror universes. We kind of started the whole mirror universe as a side quest for most games. Because I decided I was going to create my own mirror universe because I didn't like how Star Trek handled it. And then Star Trek Discovery stole my plot, which I will never forgive them for.
With
Because
Paramount watching.
Paramount, yeah, Paramount. Got yeah. But yeah, no. So I originally, when I started this game 9 years ago, Regnal wasn't actually going to be Crime Universe Regnal. He was going to be the Mirror Universe Regnal,
Right.
and yeah, and that was kind of going to be the whole plot point. But I kind of side quested it and shifted it, and we still got our Mirror Universe. The Mirror Universe is still an ongoing side quest. We also have a bit of a side quest on the fact that I, obviously, with it being a civilian game, I don't have a Starfleet captain. So I've got Estri, who anyone who's on Discord knows that that's my alter ego on there. She is actually a real character. She's a Betazoid Commodore who doesn't have any telepathy because she basically overexerted herself in the occupation of Beta Z and
Right.
broke basically. So she either has no control over her telepathy or she's able to medicate herself to stop it basically. Uh, So yeah, there's lots of different parts of SS Mary Rose, and it works really well. And I've got some amazing crew members. I've got some, really long-standing crew members like Paul, who is the GM who wrote the post that we're going to be talking about today. I've got Cam, who is the lore mistress, so we are always on top of our lore. I've got Sarani, who is just absolutely amazing. And then I've got newer players like Lurt, Raylene. I'm trying to think who else have I got. I apologize. If I'm missing anyone.
Oh, I didn't know Lurt was in there as well.
Yes, Lurt's been there a year.
Hmm.
So and I've got who else have I got? So in case I forget. And then I've got another player who is Varela, who is one of our newer members. And they've got an amazing character who's fitted in really well, who's basically caused utter chaos with accidentally destroying our communication lines.
As you do.
So it acts as you do, but that also then had a bit of feedback, and it basically started playing. The computer started playing every single personal log that was on the ship. So there was a lot of secrets kind of revealed. So that's good.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so it's a good game, and it's just amazing concept. And I don't do things by half when I pick concepts. So
Hmm.
and I'm just thankful that people who jump on board and just come along with my crazy ideas.
Yeah, that's what I've loved about doing this. I've asked for post recommendations, and I've had what 6 or 7 so far, and it's been
Yeah,
amazing. And this one wasn't actually on the list of nominations, so I've still got 6 or 7 to go through. And
yeah,
yeah, quite a few people have wanting to get in on this, which I'm chuffed
yes. So
about.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what actually happens from this because it's not me doing it, so it's fun. I
Me
just get
too.
to sit back and I just get to sit back and watch it and just enjoy seeing people talking about their posts. Or even if people don't want to talk about their posts, I'm happy to jump on and say my opinions.
Hmm.
My opinions will always be honest and positive because that's what community is all about. And I would love to be able to share more posts with YouTube and the wider fleet and the wider communities, especially with Kittima coming up on the 1st of March. It's just such a
Yeah.
great time just to get us out there.
I,
But yes,
I just saw the cam where most days it'll be something like I don't know, National Pancake Day, and
yeah,
then she'll be like, "Oh, is there any posts that you're particularly proud of that have
I love it.
involved pancakes?" And you get a surprising amount of posts being posted. Oh yes, this is my pancake post from 7 years ago. But like, oh,
Yes,
amazing.
I am reading so many posts like that. This is kind of why I want to do this and why I want to do that because I want to try and get our posts and our writing out into the universe. And I'm hoping eventually that we'll find a slightly easier way to do this, that maybe we'll be able to create some shorts, get them out on YouTube, get them out on our socials. But for now, we're just going to do it a slightly long format like this, where you get to see our lovely faces and we just get to talk about posts. And this post, I love, and I think it deserves the recognition that it's getting.
Definitely. And speaking of the post, this is what I like to call a dodgy segue. Let's talk about it. So, first, I'll give you the summary, brief
Okay.
synopsis. Right. This is a brief one that I wrote. Jake, still grappling with the aftermath of the fractures incident, finds himself repeatedly visiting the grotto to explore a mysterious artifact. This device connects him to a mental projection of Kilra. Kilra. It's Kilhra. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
I struggle with alien languages. This is why I probably hash my own alter ego in Estri. But I have the opinion that you cannot say it wrong if you are trying. So, and you're
Kilra.
trying.
Kilra. A woman who exists only in his mind due to a past mind swap. During their conversations, Jake reflects in on his relationship with Cassie, particularly his hesitations about parenthood, influenced by a past traumatic event. Through Kilra's insights, Jake contemplates his emotions and the complexity of love and responsibility, ultimately realizing he has been avoiding the future, even though it's something he can't escape. Full stop.
Yes.
Done. Summary. Boshed.
That's a really good summary, to be fair. I actually really like that summary because it really is pretty much what the post is about. Because Jake kind of had a really interesting kind of story in the previous mission where for last year's anniversary, when the ship turned 8,
Mm-hmm.
I decided I was going to fracture the ship, and it went a bit timey-wimey. It
Mm-hmm.
went to the future. It went to alternative futures because not the future's not set in stone, and it went to the past. And Jake's character went for a lot. He kind of went to a future where he's got a kid with Cassie,
Mm.
and then within seconds of having that future, he then went back to the past when this vessel was actually a Starfleet vessel. And
Right.
he was there for the moment that it all kind of went wrong because some of the crew are from 2243, 46, 20, 20, 2246 when the ship was a Starfleet vessel and it met a creature called the vampire cloud, which basically sucks your blood. Humans don't escape it, but Vulcans can. And
Right.
Cassie's half Vulcan, and she risked her life to save Jake,
Right.
um, allowing him to kind of eventually fade back to the present time. And she was absolutely fine because
Mm-hmm.
she'd done it before, because Cassie is actually from the past. She's from 2246. So she was originally trapped in the the transporter,
Mm-hmm.
going through a loop for over 150 years. So she's already been in this past. She's already kind of lived it. But it's such an epic storyline, and I've enjoyed really writing it with Paul because it has been such a fun twist on things, and I've kind of got to write a little bit more in 2246, which I've enjoyed.
Yeah. I'm actually so glad that you're on because when I see this nominated post, I get sent the post, I read the
Yes,
post, and I have
yes,
zero context before and after, or
yes,
very little.
you do.
So you've added a lot of context to these, and
Yes,
it makes a lot more sense, and I can appreciate it a bit
yes,
more.
yes,
So yeah, as a,
yeah.
I think future ones I will try to go before and after, but there's always going to be references that I think might be lost on me, where I'd
Yeah,
have to
and it's
read the
gonna
whole.
it's gonna be very difficult because of how posts are laid out. A lot of the time there isn't a timeline. It's not laid out
Mm,
in a set timeline.
yeah,
Um, but that is also part of a story. You're getting a snapshot of a game.
yeah. But moving on from that,
Hmm.
um, how do you feel about writing a character of the opposite sex or a different species? I know you've mentioned writing and spelling in an alien
Yes,
terms where it's
yes,
hard to pronounce.
it is very hard.
But how
It
can
is.
you get into the perspective of a different sex or alien without being that you find it hard?
I don't find it as hard as I used to. I
Right.
find writing is very much it changes as you get older. I've been running games since I was 12. I was writing games from around the age of 12. I was far too young running games, but I started in the Power Ranger universe where I was writing, and my writing was probably absolutely shit. There's no denying it. But as you get older and you kind of watch more television, you read more books, you kind of hopefully, if you are a good writer or at least willing to learn, um, you kind of either decide that you can't write the opposite sex, or
Mm-hmm.
you kind of gel with it very well. I did a Kittimer panel about 4 years ago, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
where it was about writing female characters, and
Right.
there are some appalling, absolutely appalling writers out there for female characters.
Is it the equivalent
I,
of fantasy female armor? Kind of.
yes,
Yeah.
yep, oh so much.
Yeah.
Oh, so much. And Amethyst, who is my Baisano in Pegasus Fleet, we did that. So this is like crossing communities that we did this panel because
Mm-hmm.
we are the only two female people that are in Kittimer. It's only us girls,
Right.
me and her, um, running running things behind the scenes. And we decided that we were going to do this panel, and it's scary some of the reactions that happened to that panel. Even
Right.
now I'm like, oh, people really reacted because it kind of it triggered a few people. But I would hope that if I was really poor at writing characters, I would have hoped that someone would have spoken up and said, Beck, you shit. You need to stop writing.
Yeah.
Um, they haven't, and this is your space. If I am crap at writing a certain type of character, please tell me. I will listen and I won't judge.
Well,
Wow.
actually, I've come up with a game, right?
Okay.
Where I have.
Chris's game show.
Da, 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 da. I'll work on the theme song. But
Okay.
I have three images that I think are a universal male experience.
Okay.
So
This should be interesting.
I'm going to show you these images, and I might have to say some context to them, but um, you tell me what they mean. Right.
Okay.
So you ready?
Hit me.
I've got image one.
Okay.
What would you do if I handed you a pair of these?
Let's go. Ching, ching.
Yes, exactly. You cannot not.
No, I would 100%
Ding.
do that. And if you were unlucky enough, I probably would have got your nose as well.
So, same question for image two.
Oh, I would have gone ching, ching.
It's the same. We just turn things off and on. I've noticed as well that I got an unbranded drill because I know
Oh
people
yeah,
get quite
yeah. Don't
tribey.
start this. Yeah, don't. It's like the
Oh,
houses of Hogwarts.
oh, I'm more like the Game of Thrones houses. The DeWalt
Well,
clan are coming for the Milwaukee clan. Oh, anyway, um, and this one is image three is what is happening here.
you walk in, you've shaken a leg, and you've carried on.
But why?
You adjusted yourself. I have a child. I have lived with men. You know, I've also worked on a cruise ship.
True. Loads of adjusting legs on cruise ships.
Yeah, just a little bit. Did I pass? Have I won the game?
3 out of 3. I
Ah,
cannot
what's the
get
prize?
out
What's
past
the
you.
prize?
Bragging rights.
Well, hey, winner, the first winner. Chris's game show.
Hey.
Woo!
So yeah, that was me game.
I like that.
Thanks. I definitely didn't come up with that 10 minutes ago.
If you did, it's epic.
To be fair, me and Emu have been talking, and we've been like workshopping things and stuff like that. Because
Love it.
at some point I want him on as well. We're gonna play off the English Dutch divide.
Yes. I've got one for you. I've got one for you. We'll talk about you have to edit this out, but I've got one for you.
Just tell us afterwards, so I don't have to edit it. 2 seconds. All right. Wrote it down.
Okay.
Remind you after. But yes, right. So now that the game's finished with and you completely got everything right, obviously the top male character writer is Becca. What did you like about the post?
I just love the fact it was a solo post. It wasn't requested from Paul. Paul literally went off and did it himself. I find very much often that people don't just go off and write posts. They kind of wait for you or wait for someone to write with.
Hmm.
And Paul is an amazing writer who will just go off and write by himself. And this post was just fun. It was interesting to see how kind of more at peace he is with like Ford is with the character that's inside of his head because this isn't just like it's not just been one mission since this kind of body swap happened. It's been I think three maybe.
Right.
Yeah, Dragon's Fracture. Yeah, so it's been maybe two missions since we kind of had the body swap, and he's kind of had weird things happening. But I feel like this post is kind of the first time that he's kind of accepted this Romulan woman that's left over from Leah in his
Hmm.
head, and I think it's just a great post, and I will sing my praises around this post all day and all night if I can.
Brilliant. So he wrote it off his own bat,
Yeah.
and he's a good writer.
Yeah, that's plain and simple. And the
Yeah.
character, it's a great example of sort of character development because, as I said, this is the first time I feel looking back on these posts because these posts have been done, 6, 7 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that this character's had enough growth to kind of realize that he's actually in a good point and he does actually want to face the future and he's
Yeah.
not quite as traumatized by what happened in well it's hard because he's not traumatized by what happened in the future, but then he's not traumatized by what happened in the past
Mm-hmm.
because it's very complicated because the future that he's seen is an alternative future. It might not happen. you
Yeah.
know this is what I kind of liked about this mission is it allowed people to explore. We had some characters who went to the ship in the future and the ship is destroyed. It's been attacked by Borg and it's desolate. It's dead on a planet and there is a Borg head that that appears and it's a really horror post. And then you've got really sweet posts like the one that kind of precedes this of Ford and Cassie meeting their child in the future. You've got other posts of ship being officially decommissioned and sent to scraps because it costs too much to keep running.
Mm-hmm.
There is just so much in the future, and Paul kind of pulled all those threads together and put it into one post that kind of allowed his character to kind of move on with a little bit of disassociation from all those bits.
Yeah. Yeah. I was. Yeah. I like that as well. I can't really add much to that, but for me, next question. I love the flashbacks of the past and the internal argument or like conflict
Yeah,
with him with Jake and Kilra, as a way of explaining what's going on,
yeah,
and it kind of like furthers on character development from that.
yeah.
Um, what other ways have you seen people develop their character in a solo post, and do you have any tips
Oh,
besides copying?
it's difficult when you're doing a solo post because us as community writers, we are hardwired to write with people.
Hmm.
Um, myself, I'm very hardwired. I need someone to hold my hand. I need someone to bounce off. But I would suggest using the tools that are out there. You've got. I know a lot of people probably frown on this, but you've got things like Chat GPT that you can use it to bounce off. You could even just say to someone, "Look, I want 20 minutes. You need to time me 20 minutes. I'm going to write this post." And even if you write the post and you think it's absolutely appalling, save it and go back to it.
Yeah.
There is nothing in the universe that says that someone needs to write and send it out on Nova or IFS3 straight away. You can
Hmm.
sit on it, you can edit it until you're in a better place. Or you think, oh well, I didn't write that quite well. I'll write it again. And other advice I've probably got is using something like Grammarly,
Hmm.
which is a free to use app that you can put on your phone or you can put onto your computer. And it kind of picks up a lot of the spelling errors and the grammar things that you do sometimes because when you're writing by
Yeah.
yourself, you don't necessarily pick them up.
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, you've mentioned it to me before because I've said things in the past where I've said maybe a slang word that I didn't realise was a slang word, like spelk. I didn't know
Yeah.
was a northern word, which is a splinter from a
I've
bit.
got no
Some
I didn't know that was
I didn't know it wasn't enough. I thought it was just
yeah.
universal. But
Yeah.
as an example, Grammarly would have picked it up, or
Yeah.
if I was writing solo, I wouldn't have noticed that.
Yeah.
Um, I've put that on my computer when I'm writing things.
Yeah, I would just recommend it just because it's there and it's your little writing buddy that tells you you're doing a good job. Because I love the fact it sends me emails and tells me that I'm doing better than 98% of other people's users. I'm using more unique words, and that is 100% down to the post I write in like Dragon Riders of Pern, Star Trek, X-Men, Power Rangers universes. That's 100% because of that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I would say just don't be afraid of doing solo posts, even if you think they're going to be crap and you're never going to post them. Just write. Sometimes that really helps unblock reviews. Yeah,
I've I've found I know I'm not a writer, but I've starting to write a bit more things. Maybe it's not post related, but I've found that if I've got a concept or something, or if I have some sort of mental diarrhea that I need to get out, it may not
yeah,
make sense. I'll open WordPad and just write words down, and then
yeah.
go back
I
to it
mean,
and think, how can I structure that so it makes sense, and two, I can read it.
yeah, 100%. I would highly recommend anyone just having like even like you have post-it notes in your bag or your pocket. And even on your phone, I have the G Docs app.
Right.
Anyone who has ever been on any of my games will know that I potentially have a love affair with G Docs and G Sheets because that's the only way that I survive by organizing everything onto them. Um, and I just think having that little bit of organization helps me.
Too organised for me.
Yes, I did. I have scared you this week, so apologies because I made Chris be a bit more organized and he got a bit thrown.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I've wrote stuff down for this. You might catch us reading things. It's because I was like, I need to be prepared. I've got a Becca on. She'll chin us if I just pee about.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. But I also think um it doesn't matter if you don't want to do solo posts. I just want to make that really kind of clear. If solo posts are not your jam, that is 100% correct, as long as you're writing.
I think
And
people.
if you ever need a writer, I am here.
Yeah, it's also good to push yourself and try it, even if you don't
Yes,
post it. Just
yes,
get it out, give it a shot.
indeed, very much.
But I think we've celebrated Paul's post. Um,
Yes.
Thanks for coming on, Becca. And what do you have going on?
Oh my goodness, I have so much going on. This is unreal. This is why Fleetcast hasn't existed for the last month and a half because my life has been chaotic. So I have Women of Nerd Culture coming out. I have Kittima coming up on the 1st of March. If anyone wants to do a panel, Obsidian Fleet has already got a couple of panels lined up. We've got a special edition of Fleetcast. We've got Kimu who's doing a panel. We've got at least two people doing a panel.
Oh, get
I've
in.
forgotten who they are, but we've already got 3 panels lined up for Obsidian Fleet for Kittima. There's another secret panel that's been already done, but I can't reveal that. I will in a few weeks though. But basically, yeah, my life has been pretty much Women of Nerd Culture and Kittima for the last month. Yeah. And then obviously running my games, running my Atlantis, Lost in Space, and SS Mary Rose civilian game, and then all the other little projects that I have on, and also working because that's what I do, and being a solo parent. Um, so yeah, I've got lots on, but I definitely want to be getting back into doing Fleetcast because I have missed it, and I've just really enjoyed this evening and just having a little chat with my mate Chris,
Hey.
who I also kind of just want to thank because he keeps saying that he's not a writer, but he is one of the community's biggest cheerleaders, and he's one of my besties, and he's my brother from another mother, whether he likes it or not, because he is just amazing. And the fact that he he came into the community, he had no idea what he was doing. He had no idea what was really going on, and he just wanted to support and cheerlead. And he's got the biggest heart. And yeah, I'm really thankful for you doing today. And
I,
yes,
to be honest, it's been fun. I don't like doing things that I don't want to do, and I've got
yes,
more likely won't do it. And the communities that I've seen, even in the main Discord, that Atlantis, Avalon, wherever, or just random people, um, has been amazing. I've met some great
yeah.
people. I mean, where would I have found Emu in the wild? I wouldn't
No,
have.
we would not have found emu in the wild, or Serrani, or Emu, or
Yeah.
Paul. None of them would have been found in the wild because they live too far away. And I just think everyone needs to come and live in England, and we can all go to conventions together and live happily ever after writing.
See, I would go to I'll go to emus, but I don't like licorice. That's all they eat over there.
No, it's not, man. Maybe we can do that as a side quest at the end of the year because I want to go to America first.
Right.
So Netherlands would have to be like the end of the year, but we can do that.
I would, but do you not think it would hurt your feet wearing the wooden shoes?
Bit stereotypical there, dear, isn't it?
That's what they do, isn't it? With the tulips and wooden shoes, talking about windmills all the time.
Awkward. Yes. Yes, dear, yes.
But yeah, anyway, thanks for coming on, and see you
You're
next
welcome.
time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
In the vastness of the stars we roam, Obsidian Fleet.